Hey Clovers, I miss y'all. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and make sure y'all is hitting that notification bell because I'm dropping gems all summer if y'all haven't noticed already. Alright, so y'all already know this is episode 3 to the ultimate guide on freight dispatching. Make sure y'all are going over to look at the first 2 episodes in this series if this is the first video you've seen, because once again, baby got them gems, and by baby, I'm talking about me. This episode is extremely important, and let's put emphasis on extremely important. And it's important because this is literally the bread and the potatoes, or is it meat, potatoes, whatever. This is how you're gonna make your money. Make sure you got a notebook and a pencil, and make sure you write down everything I say, because this is literally how you're going to generate money for your carrier, and this is the money that you will get a percentage of as a dispatcher. All right, y'all. So when you are looking for the potential load board, everybody know I'm going D.A.T all the way. I don't know why, but I just been rocking with them since the very beginning, so I'm gonna keep rocking with them. I heard all types of reviews on them, but they never did me wrong, and I always get the best loads and the best rates from D.A.T. So make sure y'all going with them. If you looking at your options, D.A.T is more of like the general load board that has good loads for all equipment. So that's why I use them the most. Now, y'all, let's get into this pricing. So D.A.T 1, that's the standard. Then you got enhanced and you got pro. When it comes to selected office, you don't even got to look at those options because you don't even need all of that. I would stick between the one that's starting at $45. And I know some dispatchers that get the pro package, which is $135. To be completely honest with you though, I have never shifted from the standard package, which is the $45 one, and I've been doing A-OK as a dispatcher. Genuinely, because if you don't need all of those features that the higher premiums come with, because you could do all of that on your own. You just got to do a little bit extra more research, open another internet tab. It ain't too much, but I'd rather do that and save $40 a month or even $100 a month compared to just getting everything in one place. So do the option that's best for you, but for me, it's just real easy to get the $45 standard option. If I need to do outside research, I just go from there. This is the dashboard homepage of what the Trucker's Edge standard D.A.T premium looks like. The first thing you're going to see on here is this page. Now, usually it has like different news articles that you can read and stuff like that, but I think they are updating their system, so a lot of that stuff is just not available right now. But what I do want to point out, and I find this extremely important, this national load count. So if y'all look at this time, these are done in real time. It updates literally every minute. And with this, you can choose what type of equipment that you are dispatching for and look at how many loads are going in and out of that state, which is important. Not only will it help you book loads for your carrier when you're getting them from home time or whatever the case may be, but it's also, let's just say, you don't want to end up in a position where there's more loads coming into that state than leaving out of that state. Because you got to think of just about the probability and ratios. What do you think the probability of you getting one of those loads leaving out is if they got 10 loads coming in and only 1 leaving out of the whole state? The chances of you getting that 1 load is slim to none, baby. So that's why I'm saying it's very important to come look at the national load count first. And just keep it in mind. Of course, you're not going to remember everything that you just read from this page, but keep this in mind when you're booking loads. Also, when you're looking at the national load count, you either want to find somewhere that has an equal number of loads coming in and out, or you want to find somewhere that has more loads going out than in. So if you do get a load going into that state, you know you have a guaranteed high chance of getting out of that state as well. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is poster truck. I have never used this feature, but I do find it absolutely amazing, but I understand why it has pros and cons to it. So poster truck is for trucks that are stuck in a certain area. You can't get them loaded out. You've tried everything. You've looked everywhere. You just can't figure out how to get them out of that area. That is when you're going to use the poster truck feature. All you have to do is literally put your carrier's truck information on here, and if a broker sees it and they're in that same area and need a load move, they'll reach out to you to possibly book a load with them. Now, that is the pro. If the broker sees it and y'all in the same area, they will call you and be like, hey, I see you are on poster truck. Is the truck still available? We can help you out. The con to using poster truck is you lose all leverage. Like, you do not have any negotiating room. And people typically only use this if they end up in a no-no zone. So we're gonna talk about that in a different video, but make sure y'all are avoiding no-no zones, because that's when you will have to use this posted truck feature. And it really just knocks off your leverage with negotiating. So I wouldn't use it. I would just try to stay in areas where you know you're gonna get good loads coming in and good loads going out. Make sure you're paying attention. This is how you're literally going to book loads and generate money for your carrier and generate money for yourself. The origin is the city where the truck is empty. People always get that confused with home time. No, if my home time right now is in St. Louis, I can have a truck in Little Rock, Arkansas. That is going to be the origin city, not St. Louis. Wherever they are empty and unloaded, that's the origin city. After that, you see this right here that says DH/O. And honestly, that's just the deadhead mileage. So that is basically saying out from the origin city, how many miles outside of that origin city is that truck willing to go to pick up a load. And remember, the broker is not responsible for your deadhead mileage. So I typically try to stay between 200 and less deadhead miles. Rule of thumb, just remember it takes about 1 hour to drive 50 miles. Always keep that in mind. Even with the 200 deadhead miles, try to stay lower than that. Keep deadhead miles to a complete minimum because you don't get paid. Destination. It's a couple things I want to say about this. Now, if you have an intrastate carrier, that means that their authority does not allow them to leave the state that they are registered in. So right now I am in St. Louis, Missouri. If I was an intrastate carrier, I would not be able to leave Missouri state lines. So with that, all you would have to do for destination is type in the state that they are registered in, and this will show you loads leaving from St. Louis but staying in Missouri. The next option is for interstate carriers. So if you have an interstate carrier, that means that that carrier can leave state lines when they're hauling freight. With that, two different things I want to show y'all. So if you click on this blue hyperlink that says valid geographies, this has already zoned out the United States for you. If you have a carrier that doesn't want to leave out of that 300 to 600 mile range, then that is when you're going to use this feature. All you're going to do is locate the state that you are trying to dispatch out of and then finding that zone. So Missouri is in zone 6. That will include Illinois, Kansas, Missouri, and Nebraska. Cool. If I have an interstate carrier who just wants to stay within that 300 to 600 mile radius, at this point, all I would have to do is type in Z6, and this will show me loads leaving from St. Louis, Missouri, but staying in that zone. And the last option I want to show y'all, if you just have an OTR carrier, I love when carriers be telling me stuff like, I don't care where I go, just take me to the money. Bet, boo, I got you. So what all you got to do for that one is leave destination blank, and that'll show you loads leaving from St. Louis but going anywhere in the United States. The next thing I want to bring emphasis to is these two options up here that says general and specific. Now this is just talking about the truck type. So the general truck types is everything that you see on the highway. So this is pretty much like reefers, flatbeds, all just like the basic equipment that people dispatch for, like on a regular basis. So this is on, when it's in general, these are all just a piece of equipment that people dispatch for on a regular basis. They're really known. But if you have a specific type of equipment, for example, power only. If you have a power only unit or you got a truck that's power only as a dispatcher, you're gonna move over to specific, scroll down to power only. And when you're in specific, this is every truck type that you could possibly dispatch for. So I typically only use specific instead of going to general because all of the options are unspecific anyway. But just keep that in mind. And since we're working with power onlys, I'll just do a quick little walkthrough on how you book a load for those. So with power onlys, you don't have a length or a weight because those do hook and drop loads. Meaning you attach to a full trailer and you drop that full trailer off. So you don't have to fill out that part. And as far as full or partial, you typically just want to leave it on full, or you can go down to both. Unless you have a situation where the truck where you know exactly how much feet and how much weight that you can put on that truck, I really don't use partial loads. And lastly, you have the calendar. So this is what you're going to use to book loads in advance, to see what loads in that area are looking like before you book a load to get to a certain area. So these are all the features that you're going to use to make sure that you are making the best possible decisions for your carrier when you're dispatching for them. So from this point, we're just going to search, and boom. These are all the options for power only units right now, with only 150 day ahead. If y'all look at this, you can see like a lot of brokers just be like posting the same thing 20 times. So you do got to scroll a little bit. But let's click on, boom, we can go to this one. So this one is going from Mount Vernon, Illinois. If you look, this number in parentheses, it says 79. The number that's in parentheses is the day ahead miles. So this is saying that Mount Vernon, Illinois is 79 miles away from St. Louis, Missouri. That's not that bad. From there, the total trip miles from Mount Vernon, Illinois to DeSoto, Illinois is 52. And it was posted 4 minutes ago. When you scroll down, the broker gives like a small description of what the load is. So they'll talk about the pickup date, it's a full load, the type of equipment it is, it's for power only, and they will include, it says it's a dedicated route, and they would also include the post ID number. And that is pretty much how you will go along with finding a load. Now I am going to do a totally separate video outside of this from, you don't take what you see on here as face value. So that will be episode 4 when we go completely in depth as far as credit check and stuff like that. But as far as looking for a load, this is that process for a power only unit. Look at the extensions. If y'all see an email in there, always use the email address and do a follow-up call. But I'm telling you, they're gonna respond to your email much quicker than they answer their phone sometimes. Also, y'all, when you call in the broker, don't be too caught up on pronouncing these cities right, because you gonna be saying some cities you never even heard of that you don't even know exist. So just give it your best effort and go from there. And this was just like a quick little tutorial on what it would look like for you to start the process of booking a load. So make sure y'all are staying tuned. Thank you for watching, and thank y'all for all the support. And make sure y'all are going to check out the first 2 episodes in the, what's that shit called real quick?